Good day and welcome to the Joseph Movement's first table talk about human trafficking. And I'm Simone Simon. Pleased to meet you all. It's amazing to be with you this afternoon. And Tershia, I've got you with us, and she's the founder and one of the directors for the Joseph Movement. So tell us a little bit more about you, and let's start there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Simone. Yes, so a little bit about me. I have an absolute heart for combating human trafficking, and it just basically, in a nutshell, started with my past with my late husband, and just to shorten it, he was actually a man who was just amazing in making me feel like a real lady, and making me feel like I'm carried on like a silver platter. But through all of that, he fell prey to pornography, and there were so many debilitating aspects about it. And, pornography does have debilitating effects on people, especially when you continually go back to it. So eventually he ended up taking his life. So from that moment, God truly placed that desire in my heart to combat this, not just pornography, but everything that goes hand in hand with pornography, such as human trafficking.
So we spoke about something earlier this afternoon. When I asked you a question, I said, is there a difference between human trafficking and just trafficking in general?
Yes. So that's a very good question. So the term human trafficking is almost like, it's almost like a deceiving term.
Yeah.
Because with human trafficking, when you think of that term, you think of movement. Yes. And with human trafficking, movement or transportation is not actually necessary.
Yes.
For a situation to be classified as human trafficking. So generally people will talk about trafficking. We know that there's drug trafficking, for instance. But with human trafficking, it's obviously all to do with people. People are the so-called products.
Yeah.
And what is important to just note about that is that transportation is not necessary. So it can actually just happen in a home, where, and it does happen, where parents prostitute out their own children. Yes. It happens a lot in the rural areas, the more disadvantaged areas. So that is considered human trafficking. It's exploitation of the child, and that child is not being moved out of the home, is not being moved taken over away from borders.
His parents. It's actually happening right there in the house.
Exactly. So that is also a form of human trafficking. Yeah, definitely.
Goodness, I learned something again new today, because even me, and I think a lot of people also think about, they would say that you actually get abducted and taken away from your living circumstances or your place of safety, your so-called place of safety. But now you're actually saying that in the house itself, in certain areas, the child can be human trafficked, and they can be for money and being taken back to the place. That's actually, for me, it's shocking. It's shocking.
That's right. So it's actually, it's exactly what you're saying. So it's a case of, the victim,
yes,
in many cases are moved.
Yeah.
But in many other cases, the exploiter or the abuser or the consumer is moved the other way around, is moved into the homes.
Yes.
They use, exploit, abuse, and then they go.
Goodness.
For the sake of their own sexual pleasure, and also for the traffickers' monetary gain.
Yes, definitely. What do you think is one of the main aspects we need to know about human trafficking?
Simone, it is so important for us to know that human trafficking does not discriminate. We often, when we think of human trafficking, or when we talk to people about human trafficking, we find that people often think about abduction, as you say, or they think about sex trafficking.
Definitely.
Sometimes labor trafficking, or a child being abducted from a school, or even containers filled with people.
Yes, that's the truth. That's
yes.
The truth.
Now, that does happen, and those are the extreme cases. However, the majority of the cases are just so much more wider and so much more vast.
Yes.
Such as labor trafficking. We have found labor victims within many of our popular shopping malls.
Yes.
You have such a thing as forced begging.
Just stop there quickly. When you want to carry on there, I know for a fact there's a certain, like you said, about this certain shops. And I went to this particular person at this shop, and I asked the person, when is your day off?
Mm.
And he said to me, he doesn't get it 1 day off. Not 1 day. He works 7 days a week. And they get picked up at the house, say 7 o'clock in the morning. Shops open at 8:30, and they leave 8 o'clock again. That's every single day for a couple of years till they get replaced and sent back to where they come from. So that to me is, you don't get 1 day off. Not 1 day.
That is a form of exploitation.
Definitely.
And especially if there's threat involved, like their lives are threatened. It does happen a lot with foreigners that come into our country, some legally, and then the identification documents are taken from them. They're completely exploited. They are put in a labor situation where it's horrific circumstances. And many of these traffickers that actually traffic people for labor also provide accommodation.
They do.
See, that is a way of also holding on to them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially, I would say, when we bring it back to South Africa, there's such a need in this country. So in the foreigners coming from another country where it's even worse, they're worse off than in this country. So just your basic food, accommodation, some kind of money, a little bit of clothes already gives them so much security. So they've got nowhere else to run. And if you take their IDs away from them or their identification documents, where can they go to? So it is such an exploitation, and we haven't even dealt with it. I don't even see it. And I think a lot of people out there, they just always think about sexual human trafficking, about little girls maybe being abducted.
Exactly.
But no, there's so many more aspects that I don't even know of. So it's so amazing to be able to have these table talks.
Yes. So that is my answer to your question, is that human trafficking does not discriminate.
Yes.
If you are exploitable, it doesn't discriminate. If someone can exploit your vulnerability, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your religion or your culture. And just to go back a little bit with what you were talking about regarding labor trafficking, is, some of those foreigners where their identification documents are taken from them, they also live in fear because they are threatened that they're going to be handed over to the authorities. Yes. It's because they don't have any evidence of being illegal.
Or legal for sure. So tell me quickly, what do you do if you, for instance, know of someone maybe being exploited or being human trafficked? What do you do? What do you say? Where do you start off by? Where do you go to?
Okay, so we do have a national human trafficking hotline. So many people don't know this. So if you're in that situation, or if you believe that you are being exploited, or if you are suspicious of exploitation happening near you, in your road, or anywhere, in a building, or you see a person whom looks suspicious or might even be a victim, a possible victim of human trafficking, then you may phone. No, you must phone, please.
Yes, must.
You must phone. Remember, if you suspect something, you have to do something.
Yeah.
And phone this number. It's very easy to remember. It's 0800 222 777. I'll repeat it, 0800 222 777. And it's South Africa's national human trafficking hotline number.
I remember that, 0800 222 777.
There we
Definitely
go.
will remember that.
Yes. And you can phone it. You can phone anonymously.
Awesome.
So if you're a bit afraid to make the call, you can do it anonymously. And if you possibly that victim, just that little bit of bravery. We all have that bravery in us, and you have to just take that extra step towards freedom, because freedom is possible. And these are professionals who do it every single day, and they will know how to assist you.
I like what you said, freedom is possible. There's nothing impossible, but I love the word freedom. There's such a word, there's such a beautiful connection to the word freedom. To be free is,
yes,
I think one of the most amazing things you can ever experience in your life, you know.
Yes. And it's such a basic right.
Please phone that number. Please phone that number. While we're on the topic, on the 25th today is a day called, or what you call the End Day.
Yes.
Can you please explain to us what this day means in the human trafficking sphere?
Yes, thank you, Simone. So, Ended Day is a campaign started by the Ended Movement, which is just such a brilliant campaign that they do every single year on the 25th. So anyway, Simone, you like red.
I like red. I'm a blue person, but you can give me red. Give me red.
Okay, so Ended Day is about creating awareness, especially on social media. And we know how social media posts can just go crazy, you know, take flame.
You got to share this, guys. You got to share this happening now.
So how you can take part in this day. Today, the 25th of February, Ended Day, is you draw a cross anywhere, either on your hand, on the back of your hand.
Love it.
There we go.
Can I draw yours?
Yes, please. And then what you do is you can draw it either on the back of your hand. Some people draw it on the palm of their hands, or maybe here.
But it's got to be a cross, eh?
It has to be a red cross, yes. And then you take a selfie. You can do it whichever way you want. You can do it with friends.
Loving it.
You can do like fist pumps and take selfies. And it's
We're taking our selfie now.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. So it's a fun thing to do. So you take a selfie with a friend or just by yourself, and then you post it on social media. There we go.
Love it. I love this. I love the selfie.
Yes.
So I think it's so important, guys and girls and all of you out there. This is such an amazing cause, and you know what? Every person upon the face of the earth has a right to freedom, has a right to liberty, has a right to live its life the way God ordained him or her to live. So this cross should be all over Facebook, all over YouTube, all over Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever. Let's take it out there, guys, and let's stand for End a Day. So let's end this human trafficking today.
That's it, y'all. That's wonderful.
And Tershia, I think it was awesome, you know, to speak to you. This is our, like I said, the Joseph Movement's first ever table talk, and we're going to really do table talks more often to make people aware of what's happening and what we also as a movement is doing. If you know of, like I said, if you know of anyone being exploited, 0800 222 777. I remember the number. I heard it once. So it's very, very easy.
Yes.
I also want to shine the light on the 21st of March, which is Human Rights Day. And we're going to have a fundraiser. It's going to be a tea party. We're going to have all of these things, in any case, on all our pages, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Vimeo, on YouTube,
SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud as well.
Yeah.
So we are all over the show. So please, the Joseph Movement, and wherever you can find hashtag or go and look on our events happening, because we're doing fundraisers, because we need to fight for people's freedom. That's 21st of March 2022, which is around the corner.
Yes.
But we'll keep you posted.
Yes, and also tomorrow, which is the 26th of February, we're going to have a workshop, an online workshop. and it's going to be with a professional on the topic of pornography. I'll also be speaking, and Simone will be bringing a beautiful message of hope.
Definitely.
So there's still time. So please, you are welcome to contact us and register. And it's very affordable. Only 50 Rand to just help us going, pay for some petrol here and there. So please join us. It's really worthwhile. And you can just see more detail on our website, which is josephmovement.org.za. Or you can also message us on our WhatsApp line, which is 082 766 9870.
Yeah, and pass that number around to people that you know, and I think also people of influence. Let us get people of influence together and around us to really support us. If you know of anyone that is really of influence in any sphere of work influence, or even have contributions to give, let's get in touch with these people to really start the movement, get the movement going. In the last words, Tershia.
Yes, I just want to say that, there's always hope. There's always hope towards freedom. If you find yourself being exploited, or you suspicious of anything, that is just something that is very heavy on my heart. Is, we all tend to just rush from point A to point B, me included. But if we can just keep our eyes open, not just be vigilant for ourselves, but be vigilant for our neighbor and the people just down our road or within our community. And the Human Trafficking Hotline number is there. If you're suspicious of something, please contact them. And, rather contact them and be wrong than not picking up that phone and actually be right. You can possibly save a life or a number of lives.
I like what you said now. Rather be wrong, rather be wrong than not doing something at all. Yes. I think that's important to know for this day. Rather be wrong.
Definitely.
But I walked in my neighborhood, it was a couple of years ago, and I was just so much wondering what's going on behind each door. Sometimes we've got no clue. So just be more aware of the circumstances and people around you. And but like she said, rather be wrong. But at least you've tried. At least you are aware of things happening around you, and you can save one person's life. From me, Simone Simon, and Tershia the Klerk, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in with us. #do something. From me, Simone Simon, and Tershia.
From me, the Klerk.
The Klerk. #do something. Okay. From me, Simone Simon, and Tershia the Klerk, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in with us, and #do something. You must do it with me, ne? #do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something.
3, 2, 1. #do something.